A man shouldn't have to ask for affection. When a woman truly desires a man, she looks for ways to make his day better. If he is asking, something is already slipping.
So you know how Margaret Robbie gave birth to a boy, and then girls were in the comments saying that she should basically just unalive her son because he's a boy? Yeah, tell me more about how girls must stick together and how feminists want equality, not supremacy.
I know a man has never been with a true baddie, like 10 out of 10 girl, when he says the worst thing that his girl can be is ran through, because sure, that's bad, but there's a lot worse.
My husband doesn't buy me flowers anymore. My boyfriend isn't taking me on nice dates. I wish my man did half the things that your man did for you. If this is a conversation that you are having with friends, which I've had plenty of these conversations, people coming to me saying these things, then listen up. And know this conversation has nothing to do with how to get your man to do these things. I need you to do me a favor and draw a circle around yourself and work on everything inside of that circle. Is your man in that circle? No, just you. When was the last time that you did something nice for him? When was the last time you cooked him his favorite meal or baked him his favorite treats, wrote him a sweet little note, picked up something at the store that you thought that he would like? When was the last time that you inconvenienced yourself for him? Him buying you flowers, cooking you dinner, taking you on a nice date, those are all him inconveniencing himself for you. Have you even shown your gratitude to him? Have you ever been, said thank you or been appreciative of the things that he's done for you? The best piece of advice that I ever received was to outdo your spouse or significant other in love. It's easy for us women to think that we should constantly be pursued, but once you are in a partnership, it is a two-way street.
I will give it to you boys. One thing you're gonna do is shoot your shot. I've been going to the same Starbucks and there's always the same barista there. And occasionally he'll upgrade my grande drink to a venti drink. And I'm like, that's sick. No questions asked. That's my guy. And so I go in today and now they're required to write little messages on all the things. Man's wrote his number. Now I'm gonna go into Starbucks and he's gonna be like, hey, did you see the thing I wrote down? I'm gonna be like, huh? And he's gonna be like, the thing I wrote on the thing? And I'm gonna be like, oh, no, actually, I don't know how to read.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
Problem is that men don't yearn and men just put in no effort. That's the issue. Most women have never experienced the rose petals and the candles. Most women have never came home to a dress laying on the bed that their man bought them saying, wear this tonight, be ready by 6, I made dinner reservations. Most men have never taken their woman out on a picnic or so much as written a love note or a poem. There's no yearning. There's no effort. Single.
That's because y'all don't appreciate it. A lot of men did all these things, and the absolute lack of appreciation for it was mind-blowing. The fact that even though they did it, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't top-notch enough. Oh. That's it. That's all it comes down to. They weren't appreciated. Men are like dogs. You reward good behavior, you get good behavior. You reward bad behavior, you get bad behavior. That's it. A lot of men learn. They were shown lack of appreciation. Nothing was good enough. You're supposed to be entitled to it. All right. But then men were also shown that, hey, you don't do those things, you get rewarded. Right? This is no dig at y'all, ladies. This is no dig, because here's the thing. Y'all all understand this. How many of y'all have been with a man who you did everything for, were doing all the stuff for, and he didn't show you appreciation? Now y'all are like, I'll never do that again. Just saying. Same thing, man. Men and women are very, very similar in a lot of ways. And, yeah, y'all already know the answer, but go ahead.
You know what's wild? People say marriage is hard, like that's the problem, but it's not. Life is hard. Bills, kids, exhaustion, grief, trying to hold it all together while still showing up for each other. Marriage is supposed to be the place you run to when life gets heavy, not the reason it feels heavier. You don't need perfect, you need a partner. Someone who meets you in the chaos and says, we will figure this out together. Marry the problem solver, not the problem. The one who calms the storm instead of adding thunder. Because when you stop fighting each other, everything shifts. Real love isn't about escaping the hard seasons. Choosing grace over pride and peace over being right. Marriage isn't hard. Life is. Marriage is where you rest while you face it together.
I just opened the door to my apartment and there was a man like a couple feet behind me. So I held the door open with my hands full of packages, mind you. And instead of grabbing the door and taking over and being like, go ahead, girl, thanks, he walks through the door and goes, thank you. I'm sorry. Are you a little lady? You're a 6'5" man and you're gonna shuffle on in and walk through the door and be like, thank you. That's crazy. Hold the door open for me and let me walk through. That's your job. Like, chivalry is, that was so actually mind-blowing. Like, thank you, you're not welcome.
You wanna know what's crazy? Is the guy that proposed to me, who is now married and has like, I don't know, I think the kid is like 7 years old, still to this day watches every single story I have ever posted since rejecting his proposal. Every single one, without fail.
If you want a perfect example of how delusional women usually end up single, it is this. Because let me be the one to tell you that to that man that you're speaking about, it's probably not that deep. For example, it could just be that this is a man that typically lets all of his stories run, like he sees everyone that he follows or is friends with stories every single day, but he doesn't purposely click on you every single day to keep track of you. It is so unlikely, especially when this man is obviously thriving with a family of his own. But this is the delusion that a lot of women will fall into. They love the storyline that they're the ones that got away. Like they're this prize that he just couldn't obtain, so now he got someone else that isn't as good as her, but he still obsessively wants her, and he would like drop his child and wife just for her. Are you kidding me? Because if this man's wife connected the dots after running into this video, she would probably laugh at you, as she should, in my opinion.
I have this eternal struggle where it's like, I want my husband to be the provider, make all the money, pay all the bills, do the adulting things, fix everything around the house, take care of my car, take the trash out, make all the plans, handle our finances. So basically do everything while I just lie around and like only do things when I feel like doing them.
See, some of y'all may think this is satire or that they're just doing it for views, but I've been noticing more and more this is how a lot of these modern women look at life and how they feel about men. See, when they claim that they want a traditional man, they only want that man for the benefit that they can get from that traditional man. But in return, they don't want to do traditional things. Like if you think about it, even when they make money, they still want the man to pay for everything. So that way that they can save their money. But now they're taking it to a point to where they don't even want to do the housework. So you have to pay all the bills while they sit at home and do nothing. And hear me out. As a man, if this ever happens to you, it is 100% your fault. Because the only way this can happen is if you allow it.
Genuinely keep that to yourself. Like, I don't want to see you crying. I don't want to see you sad.
There's a very important question that needs to be asked here. Is this just rage bait? Or is someone finally being honest about how a lot of women feel about men sharing their emotions with them?
I cannot stand when a guy comes up to me and tries to tell me his feelings and open up to me.
I'm just waiting for them to say, man up.
Like, the guys will literally open up to me and be like, so this is what happened in my past. Baby, I actually don't care. Like, whenever a guy tells me about his past, I genuinely associate that with him wanting to be done dirty.
Now, I know some of you are going to say that this is very unrealistic. However, there is a large portion of men that actually have to deal with this very type of behavior every single day.
Like, you're willingly telling me everything that, all your trauma, like I am shiesty. I'm going to use that against you. I'm going to use that in you against an argument. Don't tell me about your issue, because I will use that. You're never going to go a day, a night, an hour, a second without hearing your worst memory, because you told me that.
If this is rage bait, it is very good and very on point, because this is exactly what happens to a lot of men out there, and it is why they tend to keep their emotions and feelings to themselves.
And I don't know if y'all boys have just gotten really like good or like disciplined at like not like having eyes at the gym, but I used to go to the gym and like it used to be like all eyes on me. And I'm not being like conceited or nothing, but it really used to be like that. And there's always a couple like few like creeps that just be like really staring at you. But the cute ones, I'm like, damn, like you know, the ones that like get you excited to go to the gym and like work out, like, bro, they don't even like look at you. Like, y'all either got girlfriends loyal as
or maybe I'm just too focused on my lift in order to feed into your vanity. Or I don't want it to seem like I'm stalking you because my face got caught on your cameras because you turned my gym into a movie for your physical OnlyFans or your fitness OnlyFans. Or maybe we're just getting tired of hearing the nonsense about men need to leave me alone, but why are men not looking at me? Or maybe I thought that you came into the gym to be the best version of yourself, not realizing you were looking for emotional validation from Googling. Or maybe we're tired of your nonsense. Maybe we have other things on our minds. Or maybe we're just tired of women who don't mean what they say and don't say what they mean. Or maybe I'm more focused on my purpose. I'm trying to make sure that you're emotionally validated. Those are some ideas.
Big 16. Now, a lot of us weren't happy with that video. We wanted to know why a 16 years old looked like that. And this is what she posted after that. Why is a 16 years old looking like a 26 years old? Sleeve tattoo, dressing like she's going to the club. Why is that? Some of y'all mothers are failing and y'all think that's cute. And then you're gonna be mad that people are calling your parenting out and talking about, well, my 16 years old have y'all in a chokehold. Here's another problem too. Y'all dress your 16 years old up like that. And then when they go out and men stares them down because they look grown as fuck, or men try to talk to them, y'all get upset. Y'all talking about, you don't see she's a child? No, the they don't. Because guess what? She is a 16 years old dressing like a 26 years old. There's no way for them to know because she doesn't walk around with her age on her forehead. And you know what? I can't even be mad at the 16 years old because her mother dresses the same way.
A lot of women feel like their healing journey, let me say that, their healing journey means that they get to sit in the seat of a judge and say, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Oh, you ain't perfect over here. And they'll continue to do that over and over again because they think, well, you know, I've gone to a therapist. I'm in therapy right now. And I've been in therapy for 10 years. And so now after being in therapy for 10 years, I'm basically a therapist. I am basically a therapist. And now I can tell you exactly what you're doing wrong because I'm healed. I see where you're coming from. It doesn't really work that way though, right? Because you don't really be in it. You don't really be experiencing the stuff that you be telling people to stay away from or avoid. I understand you have some good takes, but a lot of that is you just regurgitating what you heard on a TikTok somewhere. And you don't even know how it applies practically to your life. Modern women don't have experience dating. They just get these little trinkets and these little degrees and go through these little courses that say, oh yeah, you should be an expert in this. And then they start telling other women stuff and it don't even make any sense. You still don't know how to communicate with men. You still don't know how to be a decent person. Go back to therapy and start listening. Go back to therapy and start understanding, okay, I feel like I'm good with myself. How can I bring somebody else in? And we have a relationship and the relationship not be all about me. How can I give of myself and serve somebody else without overextending? And when I feel like my needs are getting met, I communicate that in a healthy and effective way. How many women can do that? How can I tell him how I feel? Maybe I cry. Maybe I'm frustrated. Maybe I'm talking at an elevated tone. Sometimes maybe I'm just screaming. It's not very many times, but I'm just frustrated and upset. The first scenario, when I'm not screaming yet, but I'm frustrated, I'm crying, how do I not trauma dump over and over again, but share my emotions in a mature way? The second option, if I do happen to start screaming and going crazy, how do I fix my mistake? By apologizing, but then also moving forward and saying, I'm going to try to work on that. I'm going to try not to do that so much. That's something that I used to do. It's just me. How do I get better at that? Most modern women can't do that. They think they can because, once again, they went to therapy. They're not really good at it. And they don't know that.
I can't stand talking to a fine dude. Like, I like my man to be alright looking. Just be alright. Them fine ones, like, they don't be following your stupid tricks. Like, you hang up on them, they don't call you back, they don't blow you up, and you just like, you call them back, like, hey, you're not gonna call me, you're not gonna blow me up. They're like, no. I hate fine men. Give me the alright dude.
No, what you don't like is a man with boundaries, dignity, and self-respect. What you don't like is a man who has grown to the point that he can no longer be manipulated by immature mind games. I mean, what benefit is there for me if you hang up on me to me then chase after you and call you back? Like, what do I look like, Jody from Baby Boy? And this is where the game is flipped, because all of a sudden now, women are finding that men have healed, have grown, have matured, have done the emotional work. And all of a sudden now, we cannot be manipulated, toyed with by your gaslighting and emotional manipulation. And all of a sudden now, that's a problem. It has nothing to do with fine or attractive. It has everything to do with self-respect. Because the fact of the matter is, I can't love you if I don't love me. And I can't love or respect me if I'm allowing you to trample on me like that. There's just no way in God's green earth that's going to happen. So shout out to the fine men who are no longer dealing with these emotional games.
Something I always want to be on here is open, real, and vulnerable. And today, I've really struggled with finding the words for what I want to say. But what keeps spilling out is that I am an imperfect person who just wants to be better. With everything going on in the world, I have been reflecting on the person I am. I have walked through many seasons, and looking back, the ones that were the most fulfilling, especially for my marriage, were the ones where Christ was at the center of it all. I've been an addict and I've been sober. I've been a liar and I've been too honest. I've been a friend and I've been a gossiper. I've fallen short more times than I can count. And I'm tired of being a mediocre, hypocritical Christian. But here's the truth. Through it all, God has never given up on me. The Holy Spirit has always found me right where I was and called me back again. Now it's time. I'm ready. I want to be a better wife, a better mother, a better sister, daughter, and friend. The world has woken up, and what's happened has lit a fire in me that I refuse to let burn out. So, who's with me?
The real reason that club culture is failing is because they've priced out all of the hot guys from the club. I club all the time. I've been clubbing in Miami, Las Vegas, New York, Ibiza. In all of the clubs, it's all about bottle service and it's all about tables, and that's what the club cares about. And they also don't even want regular guys in the club. They only want guys in the club if they're buying a table. And think about who is buying a table. Old men, married men, foreign businessmen, or it's like a promoter and 20 girls. Whenever the club is catering towards these old men, The girls in the club, yeah, you can go and dance with your friends and drink for free, but if you're ever like on the actual dance floor, it's like a hellscape because the whole club is geared towards tables. They don't want the dance floor to be fun. They want it to be overcrowded and awful because they want people to buy tables. Girl, and you want to go out and you want to dance with your friends and you want to kiss a hot boy, there is no hot guys in the club. Girls want to be where the hot guys are. I'm sorry if this is offensive. In the same way that the men buying the tables only want hot girls there, hot girls want to be where hot guys are. Hot guys are in a dive bar, they're in a regular bar, they're not in a club spending $1,000 on a $30 bottle of Casamigos. That's not where they are. Really, it was old rich men who ruined the club. You think about peak Jersey Shore, the guys and the girls were just all in the club together and everyone was just on the dance floor dancing. The club is just not like that at all anymore, and girls are a commodity to these rich old men who spend $15,000 on a table just so they can sit near them for a night. And there is a limit on how much you can listen to an old man yap in your ear. In order to save the clubs, we must start letting the hot guys in again.
I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but I immediately don't trust people that have let go, let God in their bio, or any kind of Bible quote in their bio. So you mean to tell me that you've been a shitbag person for 30 plus years and now because you're deciphering little quotes here and there in a said Bible, that suddenly erases all of your wrongdoing? And then the amount of people that skim their taxes or start businesses and claim that it's under their church and don't pay back money and scam people out of money by either selling Bibles or making businesses about some kind of Bible. Like, I'm sorry, Jessica, but you were just a shitbag person for 6 years. Like, just because you read like some chapter in the Bible doesn't mean that you're suddenly a healed person. It's just like if I go to the store and I pick out a book on narcissism and now I'm an expert in narcissism and I'm spreading all of this awareness and information and now I'm an expert and a coach and all of these things and I'm monetizing off of it. I'm basically scamming these people into a belief system that actually has no validity or no credibility. Not only do these people hide behind their religion because their newfound spiritual journey has changed them, but they treat people like they treat their kids like they treat everyone around them, and then they say, oh, but let's pray about it. As if praying and putting Bible quotes and trying to profit off of people is suddenly going to make you a changed person. And of course, not all religious people are like this, but I'm just saying these people that have found God when they're a grown adult and they want to suddenly change their lives. Because if you really wanted to change your life, you don't have to drag your kids into it. You don't have to drag your family into it. You don't have to try to monetize off of it. You don't have to constantly preach about it to like, who are you trying to convince? You or the people around you that you're a better person? Okay, bye.
A friendship that I have with a guy, and I know he likes me. So like in the beginning, I kind of led him. I didn't purposely lead him on, but now looking back on it, I did take advantage of the situation. We would go out on outings and he would just pay.
But let's be honest though. You say that I didn't intend to lead him on, and what he said, you know he was saying something because he wanted something.
He's the kind of person that is like a people pleaser, so he never really asks for anything.
So if you were a people pleaser and you were just to give of your time and attention or give of yourself to a man and he never asked, would he be wrong for taking it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he'd be wrong, but you're not?
You're right.
This is crazy because women are smart. And you know that that man wanted something from you. But if that's the case, ma'am, I just said if you were 350 pounds, 5'2" with 4 kids, would he be offering that to you? And you said no. So it's more than just he liked you. So I want you guys to understand that this is how most women think. If I know I'm not attracted to you, and you know I'm not attracted to you, and you let me take advantage of you, it's your fault. But if you take advantage of me, it's your fault. This is why I said men and women are not friends. Gentlemen, understand, these women are not your friends, and they will use you if you let them. And they will justify it and make it your fault.
And ladies, the reason why you're not seeing men be who they used to be is because you're not being who those women used to be to get that man. Just saying though, you gotta check your fruit, baby. If your fruit is rotten, then you're gonna get rotten fruit. But if you have good fruit, you're gonna get good fruit. Don't let that go over your head now and start getting emotional. Just telling you the truth because I love you. Goodbye.
I always thought it was bizarre when women say
men are not like what they used to be, or what happened to men? Why aren't men today like our grandfathers and great-grandfathers? Because the easy answer to that is because the women are not like our grandmothers and great-grandmothers. I mean, just think logically. Do women really believe that the men of the past, the ones that they praise, the ones that they romanticize as far as the treatment that they would give to their grandmothers and great-grandmothers, do you think our grandfathers and our great-grandfathers, do you think the choices they had were women who came with children already? Do you think the choices they had were women who had 3 baby daddies? Do you think the choices they had of women were all 80% overweight? Do you think the choices that men had of the past that women came with 20, 30 bodies already? No, of course the men of today aren't like the men of the past, because the women of today are nothing like the women of the past. And I think both men and women have to accept that. We aren't bringing what our grandfathers and great-grandfathers are bringing, and women aren't doing the same. So this is where we're at. Now, where do we go from here?
Okay, what I'm about to say may make some people mad, but kind guys are not boring. And if you think they are, you're just used to chaos. Okay, and I say this in the nicest way possible, but if you have a guy who is consistent, texts you back, doesn't make you feel anxious, that doesn't mean that there's no spark. It just means your nervous system isn't being hijacked, which is a really good thing. But the problem is there are so many emotionally unavailable men out there that are so unpredictable. Sometimes they'll call you, sometimes they won't. They'll make plans, then they'll cancel. You know, they're pulling you in all these different directions. And I think females mistake the feeling of anxiousness with chemistry. So when a good guy does come around who is emotionally available, it's like, hold up, what is this? You actually are following through with your plans. You're actually consistent. You're actually kind. It's like, what do we do with this? And let's be real, nice guys get the worst PR ever. They're labeled too nice, too kind, too sweet, too boring, too predictable. When in reality, those are exactly the kind of men that females want to end up with, because those are the type of men that want to build a future. Those are the kind of men that will pursue you in the right way. But females are so used to these emotionally unavailable men that when they get a good man, they immediately go into self-sabotage mode, because they're like, this is too good to be true. Like, there's no way you are this good of a guy. And they immediately start looking for red flags. But what females need to understand is just because a guy has a lot of green flags, that doesn't mean that there's like a secret hidden red flag underneath. Sometimes a good guy is just a good guy. Isn't that crazy?
Men don't know how to lead, and it's not their fault. It is not the men's fault in totality for why they don't know how to lead in modern age. And that is because we are moving away from a patriarchy. We are still in one by definition, but we are moving away from it, which means a lot of things that used to be laid out for them, they're so confused about. Like before, there was a path, and the path was easier because there was less competition. Now everybody's in the workforce, regardless of, gender, race, income levels. People are entering the workforce at greater numbers than before, which means it's not possible for men to be able to buy a house and support an entire family off of an average income. And because we used to live in a society that perpetuated gender roles, that made it easier for men to lead. They knew their part. They knew where their role is. They knew what they were in charge of. Now they don't know that, because obviously we're moving away from gender roles. Women can now own property. Women can now do a lot of things they once did not know. So men are struggling with knowing when to step in and when to step up, and when to create space for someone else to take the lead. Another reason is that women were a lot more feminine back then, right? Hyper feminine, where men were hyper masculine. And we're starting to balance out, okay? This is not a bad thing. It's just when women were hyper feminine, there was less risk for rejection, because women more or less acted the same, right? Women used to speak in a high pitched tone. If you look at movies and women's back in like the 50s, they spoke in a higher register. We just had a more feminine tonality. But now, as we've entered the workforce, our tone has gone down so that we can command more authority. And that was one of the changes that happened when we started entering the workforce. So men have more fear, right? Men in the past did not have to deal with this or have to deal with this. So it's another thing that's making it really hard for men to learn how to step up, because women have actually become more assertive than a lot of men are now. I'm not saying men aren't assertive anymore. That's a generalized statement. There, of course, is always going to be men who are and men who aren't, but there is an increasing number of more passive men and an increasing number of more assertive women. So men and women are having a hard time coming together, trying to figure out, okay, wait, what do I do? What do you do? But it's a lot easier than we think. The hard part is just, we don't really know ourselves well enough to have these conversations. Like, we just need to have a conversation. Hey, I'm really good at leading in this area, so I'll take care of this. You are really good at this, so take care of this. But women don't know what they want. Women and men don't have a direction. If men do not have a direction, they are not going to know how to make choices and how to make decisions. Because a man that is a great leader has a vision. He knows where he's going. And so when it comes down to making micro and macro choices, he's like, okay, what will bring me closer to this vision? What will bring me closer to this goal? And then that is the compass for how he makes choices. But a man without direction doesn't know. And so a lot of times a man lacking direction will find a woman that does have one, because it's easier to jump on someone else's ship than try to, build your own.
A lot of these modern women are thinking that they can continue in the same way to get a guy as they used to. It depends on the woman, but some might use their body as a first resort. Some women might use their body as a last resort. But modern women usually have a trick up their sleeve, or what they think is a trick. Modern women are too busy trying to get men and wrangle men to do what they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it. And they're not paying attention to a man saying, listen, I will do that for you if you just give me a little bit of what I want. I mean, my God, I had to go home from work. I had to cook. I had to clean. I had to do all that, man. And then I had to go back outside and fill up your car. Then I had to take your car to the dealership, sit there in the dealership, wait for it to be fixed for about an hour or two. Then I'm planning my day around you. Never mind, I wanted to watch the football game. Thank God for YouTube TV, or being able to take the game with me in the palm of my hand, or else I wouldn't ever be able to do anything that I wanted to do. While you sitting up there watching your shows, going out with the girls, how is that a good deal for me? How do I benefit from that? If I'm running behind you, and this is what modern women do. They say, if you love me, and because you love me, you should like doing those things. Right. But I did not get into this relationship. Modern women they're emotionally stunted. They're emotionally stunted. Well, I thought you loved me, so you continue doing all these things. Yes, but think about how this looks. Think about how it's playing out. You want me to go to the store and get the things for you? You want me to go to this store and that store and this store and that store? That's 2 hours out of my day. Well, you got 24 hours. Let's say I get 6 hours of sleep. That's 8 hours. Now I really have 16. I pray to God that I work 8 hours. Now I have 8 hours to run behind you and do whatever I want. For about an hour or two, you don't want me to get home and start talking to you. Now I got 6 hours to do what I want to do. You don't even leave a man 2 hours to do what he wants. After that man get through taking care of you, and if y'all have kids, that man get through taking care of the kids, that man might have 30 minutes to an hour to do what he actually wants to do. Well, that's the life that you chose. Well, that's how it is. No. I chose a life where I would get some assistance, and you're not bringing me any assistance. So men are looking at that type of lifestyle and they're saying, this does not look appealing to me. Somebody nagging, complaining, saying that I don't do anything, saying that I'm not a part of the kid's life, saying that, oh, I'm a single mother, I'm a married single person, single mother, or whatever. And that's not true. Knowing good and well that you be doing some stuff, but you don't be doing everything. Not even a majority of everything. But you'll have TikTok in the world anyway. These modern women ain't ready.